Hawks lose in overtime to the New Jersey Devils. 4-3. This game, the Hawks were coming out slow and they could not prevail, but they battled back to tie it up. They forced the overtime by stealing a point. This is a game you have to take with charge 24 hours later because you play again tomorrow night against the Pittsburgh Penguins. This was a rough loss for the Hawks, but they managed to show a resiliency to their game. They can battle back. They showed it last game, and they did it again tonight. How about start games off without not going down early in the games? That will be nice to see. But I do have to mention this. At the beginning of the game, during warm-ups, both teams did something very good and honoring for the late Jimmy Hayes, who was a rookie with the Blackhawks, played with the Hawks for a couple of seasons, and played with the New Jersey Devils for a couple of seasons. The Devils wore jerseys with his number 10 for the Devils and his nickname for the Devils, which ended up being Broadway. And then the Hawks wore his number 39 during warm-ups with his nickname Hazy on the back. It was a good way to honor a former teammate for some of these players who did play with him in past years. So that was a cool way the Hawks and Devils honored a former teammate of theirs. But this was a rough loss for the Hawks. Kevin Lankinen, he did look good in the net. He played strong. He made big saves when it counted. Jonathan Bernier for the Devils made big saves when he needed to, but the Hawks just couldn't get that fourth goal past Bernier. So let's look at the shots on net per period, shall we? 6-6 in the first period, so tied shots on net in the first. Second period, 11-13 in favor for the Devils. In the third period, it was 10-9 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks. In the overtime, it just took one shot, and it was from the New Jersey Devils. So total shots on net, 27-29 in favor for the Devils. It was close for shots on net, but it wasn't enough for the Hawks to prevail. The Devils were pressing a lot in that first period, battling to keep the Hawks from not being in this game. But the Hawks managed to prevail, tie it up. Then the Devils scored twice and gave themselves a couple goals, and the Hawks had to battle again. Let's look at the face-off percentage, a stat that the Hawks were good at last game and horrible at last season. While the Hawks prevailed at the dot, basically 52% of the time at the dot, the Hawks won, and the Devils went 48% at the dot. That's a good percentage for the Hawks. They managed to pretty much have an even game in this face-off dot, but still had the edge. Power play, 2 for 5 for your Chicago Blackhawks, 0 for 2 for the New Jersey Devils. Hawks managed to get a couple power play goals. That's good to see. And they managed to stone 2 power plays from the Devils. Couldn't get something past the Hawks on the PK, which is good to see. That's a trend that you want to see happen. Hits, 15-17 in favor for the Devils. Block shots, 7-14 in favor for the Devils. Hawks were getting some shots off, but they weren't getting them onto net. It was just getting blocked in front. So Hawks were getting some pressure spots in this game, but could not get that extra goal to win this game. So let's look at the goals of the game, shall we? Because the first goal of the game, very early into the game, scored 17 seconds into the first period, scored by Dougie Hamilton, assisted by Pavel Zacha, to make it 1-0 New Jersey. After that, no goals were scored in the first period. This goal, though, by Hamilton ended up becoming an NHL record for the fastest start for a team in a season scored by a defenseman. Dougie Hamilton sets it, and he was the golden goose in the free agent market this last year, and he starting to show why in 17 seconds with his new organization. Hawks are down early in the first. Does that sound familiar from last game? Yeah, because they did go down early. The Devils kept pressing, battling the Hawks in this first period, making it tough for the Hawks to get any entry into their offensive zone, and it ended up being at 6-6 shots on net. Hawks took a while to get their first shot on net because by the first TV timeout, the Hawks didn't have a single shot on net, and then they started getting some pressure and moving the puck well and getting some chances, but not enough to beat Bernier. So we go to the second period. Hawks are on a power play. They get a power play late in the first period with 5 seconds remaining in the first period. The Hawks go to the power play, so it continues into the second period. At 51 seconds into the second period, scored by number 12, Alex DeBrincat. His first of the season, assisted by number 88, Patrick Kane. And number 90, Tyler Johnson. To tie the game up 51 seconds into the second period. And that's good to see. The Hawks managed coming out of this intermission and with this fresh ice power play and prevailing to tie it up. That's what you want to see. That's good. They moved the puck well. Patrick Kane sauced it right to Cat in the off the red line basically, and Cat buries it past Bernier, and we are tied. And the Hawks kept pressuring. They moved the puck well, keeping chances on. Had to kill a couple penalties. They did. But at 17:58 in the first period, from the New Jersey Devils, Jack Hughes, his first of the season, first of the night, assisted by Igor Servervik. I really butchered that name. I am so sorry, but I did. And the Devils get their lead right back with 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Well, basically 2.5, because it was at 17:58 in the second period. Devils go up 2-1. But with about 16 seconds remaining in the second period, Kevin Lankinen makes a huge save to keep it within 1 going into the third period. That's a save where the Devils came in and got a rifle off, and Lankinen needed to make a big save, and he did, keeping this game within reach. So we go to the third period down by a goal. But at 6:34 in the third period, Andres Johnson scores his first of the season, assisted by Mercer and Tatar. This is what happened. Tatar shot the puck off the post. It goes down. Mercer tries to get the rebound, and it goes to Johnson's stick, and the Devils make it a 2-goal lead. But leading into that goal, Mackenzie Entwistle rings it off the pipe, and the Devils take it up the ice, and this is how that goal goes in. The Devils get their own rebound off their own shot off the pipe in the net. Nothing Lankinen could have done there. It's a tough shot to play. And the Devils go up by 2 goals. Then, something interesting happened late in this period. The Hawks get a 4-minute power play because Dawson Mercer gets a high sticking on Tyler Johnson. Johnson lays out and gets cut, and the refs had to check for review to see if Johnson got cut and he was bleeding from the high sticking penalty, and he did. So they gave it a 4-minute minor to give the Hawks a 4-minute power play. And this is where the Hawks take advantage of it, because at 16:07, the Hawks are still on the power play, with it going to their second power play of that 4-minute one, so it was in the 2-minute part of the power play. And the Hawks pull Kevin Laakkonen, extra attacker on. Kirby Dach's the man, and Kirby Dach ties it. It doesn't get it tied, but gets it within 1. At 16:07 in the third period, scored by number 77, Kirby Dach. His first of the season, assisted by Tyler Johnson. And number 88, Patrick Kane, to make it within goals reach. And the Hawks are battling. They are getting pressure on the Devils. We have a close match remaining with 4 minutes left in regulation time. And, well, the Hawks need a chance. They pull their goalie again. They had pressure on and kept it in the offensive zone. The Devils managed getting it into the Hawks' defensive zone, but the Hawks managed to prevail and not let the Devils score. Hawks take it back up at 19:34 in the third period. Scored by number 8, Dominic Kubalik, his second of the season. Assisted by number 38, Brandon Hagel. And number 4, Seth Jones, to tie it up 3-3 in the third with 25.5 seconds remaining in regulation time. Wow. Kubi ties it, and this game needs extra time. But in the extra time we go. In overtime, at 57 seconds into the overtime, Jack Hughes, with his second of the night, wins it for the Devils. It was assisted by Ryan Graves to make it a 4-3 Devils win, Hawks lose. This goal by Jack Hughes was actually quite honestly a very nice goal. He shoots it off Laakkonen's pads and gets his own rebound, backhand, and basically he doesn't get a rebound. He backhands it in, and the Devils win it in overtime. Okay. Am I mad that the Hawks lost? Of course I am. I like when the Hawks win. But am I happy they showed a spark where they can come back? Yes, they showed it against the Avalanche the other night, and they did it again against the Devils. Now take this loss and go in angry tomorrow night against the Pittsburgh Penguins, because you're going to have the Penguins' all-time great goaltender in your own net and Marc-Andre Fleury. So take that, make momentum out of it, and go into tomorrow's game angry and play strong, because this is going to be a battle. Down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts were from tonight's action and what you thought of the Jimmy Hayes tribute by both teams in warm-ups. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Unfortunately, the Hawks lost, but I have to end this off how I always do. And most of all, Let's go, Hawks!